Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Obviously, as you may have seen, the Lionesses brought it home and won the Women's Euros back to back like they did in 2022. This video is for I'm just gonna go through how I thought the Euros went, game by game, obviously by England of course, but game by game and how I felt about each game. Okay, so the first game was obviously England versus France. France won 2-1 against us. France scoring a goal in the 36th and the 39th minute, but then Kira Walsh coming in at the 87th minute. This game, obviously, France is a very, very speedy team, so it's kind of hard to beat France. They have some really speedy players like Sandy Baltimore, who plays for Chelsea. I think she plays for Chelsea. But you have these players, and obviously during the game it showed that we weren't going to win that. Obviously we had an offside from either Beth Mead or Alessia Russo, and then we had a huge offside. I'll put it in down below. It was either Beth Mead or Alessia Russo, but I'll put it here. I'll show you the offside thing here. So I think the player of the match for the England versus France game was definitely Kira Walsh, and I think that was definitely well deserved. The next match was probably one of the most, I would say, controversial matches. England versus Netherlands. We won 4-0 against the Netherlands. Obviously they won, I think it was 3-0 against Wales in the match day one, with obviously Viv Miedema getting her 100th goal in that match as well. So obviously there was big things that maybe Viv could step up and get goals against England. Obviously, again, controversy. For people who don't know, Beth Mead plays for Arsenal and Viv Miedema also played for Arsenal, and they have been dating for about 3 years at this point in the game. So obviously Beth Mead plays for England and Viv Miedema plays for the Dutch. So obviously this was going to be a very controversial game anyways, because it was either we win and the Netherlands go home. This was a must-win for England, basically. I don't know how to explain it, but this was a must-win for England. So we had Lauren James scoring in the 22nd minute, and then we had Georgia Stanway scoring in the 45th minute plus 1 minute. And then we had Lauren James scoring again in the 60th minute, and then Ella Toone coming in the 67th minute, which gets our 4-0. Not to mention from this game, Alessia Russo got player of the match because she had a hat trick of assists, which I think is a great achievement, because loads of people were being controversial about her, saying, oh, Alessia Russo should have scored. She got a hat trick worth of assists. She assisted 3 of those goals in that match, which I think is an achievement in itself. I feel like for this game, loads of people set their eyes on Viv and Beth, and I feel like, yeah, they're partners, we get it. But I don't think you should make it centralised that they are. Because obviously you can pick whoever you can pick to be public with your partner and not listening to the thing, but you can't just, the press can't just surround it like that. It's football. They're obviously going to be competitive against each other. They want to win for their own country. That's the only thing that I hate about that game. The next game, which is match day 3, is England versus Wales. Obviously, everyone knew it was home against home, if you get what I mean. Place in the UK against place in the UK if you're American, if you don't know what I mean. Because apparently the UK is a weird island. Anyways, so this game, full time, we won 6-1. So we won 6-1 with Georgia Stanway scoring at a penalty in the 13th minute, Toone scoring in the 21st minute, then Lauren Hemp at the 30th minute, Alessia Russo in the 44th minute, Beth Mead in the 72nd minute, and then we had, is it Henrich? I think someone on Wales scored in the 76th minute. Obviously, that couldn't come back up. And then Beaver Jones scored in the 89th minute. Obviously, this was Wales' first Euros, knocking out Ireland from the qualifiers. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Obviously, even though it's home against home, obviously it's a reigning champions against a debut thing. That's why they called it the Group of Death. Because obviously Group D, if you didn't know, was France, the Netherlands, England and Wales. The Group of Death. You have 2 European champions trying to get their title, and then you have a really speedy France. So obviously Wales, they kind of have no chance. And they lost all of their games so far. So obviously they weren't going to win at all. So it was either going to be France and Netherlands or France and England that were going to win. So I think this match, Wales had so many opportunities again, like the Dutch, but they just didn't take it. And I think, like, you know, like, what the hell? I'm English, yes, but what the hell to the Welsh? Like, you had so many opportunities. Use it. So, obviously, this was, the next match is Sweden versus England, which was obviously the quarterfinals. We won 3-2 on penalties, but we were obviously 2-2. We had a goal from Aslani in the 2nd minute. Sorry if I'm saying some of these wrong. And then we had a score from Stina Blackstenius in the 25th minute. And then the match kind of dragged on a little bit. And then we had the super sub, Michelle Adjiman. But first, Lucy Bronze scoring in the 79th minute. And then Michelle Adjiman coming on 103 seconds later and scoring that goal. The oldest and the youngest player scoring within 103 seconds to equalise. That is just amazing. Like, and fun fact, I'll tell you at the end about Lucy Bronze, because that is amazing what she did. For this match, we had Lucy Bronze taping up her own leg. Leah had to come off. And Hannah Hampton had to have a tampon up the nostril. If any of you saw that. So that happened. So loads of people didn't have faith for England at that point, because 3 people, there was 3 different things going on. But we pulled through and we won on penalties, which was a really, really, really strong match. The player of this match was obviously Hannah Hampton. Like I said, our goalkeeper, Hannah Hampton. She played with one nostril. She got punched in the nose by either a header or a boot, I think. But she did so well on the penalties, like saving them and like scoring them. She did so well. And I think that was obviously well deserved for that game, because that game was tough. You know, watching that game, that was so painful. But I think that game went really well. Here, the oldest and youngest players in the squad, Lucy Bronze at 33 years of age and Michelle Adjiman at 19 years of age, scored it together in the space of 103 seconds. What an achievement! What an achievement! And that was Adjiman's first goal for the Euros. So that is crazy. Next match was England versus Italy. This match was tough because we didn't know if Leah Williamson was going to be fit for it. But then we found out she was fit for it. And I think that helped England boost a lot more. This was the game where they had Jess Carter on the bench for a little bit because of the abuse that she saw throughout the Euros. I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. The abuse that she got was so unnecessary for something so little. Obviously, it was very significant to some people, but I don't get it. Why are you racially abusing someone just because they did a bad error in football? I don't get it. I don't get it. But we love you, Jess, and we all stood with Jess. And then she came on during the semi-final and just was amazing. We won 2-1 against Italy. So we had Bonanci, someone in Italy, scoring in the 33rd minute. And then we had Michelle Adjiman scoring in the 96th minute to equalise. The extra time for this game was 7 minutes, and she scored in the 6th minute, 1 minute away from going home. And then we had a Chloe Kelly in the 119th minute, and that was in the 29th minute of extra time. So you know it feels so good. And then you had Jess Carter coming on as well during that last 10 minutes of extra time, and I feel like that was when we knew we are going to win this. So we come to the final, which was England versus Spain. We won 3-1 on penalties. Oh my god, sorry, they're showing this like really like fun thing on my phone of like the England winning. If I can show you like that, they like put in like stuff like that because this is how I'm reading the thing. They won 3-1 on penalties. Caldenti scored in the 25th minute. Who, if you didn't know, Caldenti plays for Arsenal, which obviously a load of our English girls are Arsenal. So with Caldenti scoring, you kind of don't know what to do. Obviously, it's you want your home, you know, you want your club to do good. You want your club player to do good, your teammate. But then you need to score. You need this equaliser. So we had Caldenti scoring in the 25th minute in the first half, and then Alessia Russo coming in on the 57th minute and scoring the equaliser, which I think was pretty good considering. And then they took her off and subbed her with Chloe Kelly, which in my opinion, they subbed her off a little too early, I think, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. They subbed her off. I think they subbed her off with either Agyman or Chloe Kelly, because Lauren James also went off, which meant because she hurt her leg. I can't remember how she hurt her leg, but they put her in the starting 11, and I don't think they should have because of how like hurt she was. But yeah. But then we went into penalties, and because I can remember this game really well. That's why I can't remember the penalties from the other game, because it's like not in my head. So I'm gonna say this from memory. So the first penalty we had was Beth Mead, and it got in, but then they had to redo it. And I think that's really unnecessary that they had to redo Beth Mead's penalty. I don't get why they found the penalty takers. So Beth Mead got it in, and then she had to retake it again and then missed. And then Spain scored their penalty. And then we had Alex Greenwood on the penalty and scored it. And then we had Caldente on the penalty for Spain, and she missed. And then we had Niamh Charles, her first penalty for the Euros, and she got it in. I was actually very surprised they let Niamh Charles do the penalty. I thought, obviously, they couldn't let Bronze. So, obviously, that makes sense. So, Niamh Charles was Lucy Bronze's sub. So, when Lucy Bronze came off, Charles came on. So, that actually makes a lot of sense. And then Bonmati missed for Spain. She missed her penalty. And then Leah Williamson, our captain, went up for her penalty and missed. And then I don't know her name, but for Spain, she missed. So then we all came down to Chloe Kelly, and she had to get that penalty in, and she got it in, and that's how we won the Euros. And I can't believe that we won the Euros. If anyone saw, fun fact, I don't know how she does this. I don't know how she's still human, but Lucy Bronze she had a fractured tibia for the whole of the tournament. This woman is not human. At 33 years of age, by the way, she's the oldest in the squad. She's done 36 caps for a major tournament, like major tournaments in England internationally. I can't believe it. Like, she's hitting a Jill Scott level. I don't get it. I feel like she's still going to be England's right back at 40 years of age. I don't get it. She had a fractured tibia the whole tournament. Like, are you human? I don't get, and then she was still hopping around when the celebrations came about, and I don't get it. And obviously, our Michelle Agyman for Arsenal won young player of the. I think it's either the match or the tournament. Was it the match? I think it was the match. Or was it the tournament? I think she might have won player of the tournament. I'm not sure. It was the match or tournament. I know she did that. No, it was the. I think it was the tournament. She won player of the tournament, and then Hannah Hampton won player of the match, obviously because of her penalties and stuff. Like, I can't believe it. Everyone celebrated, and then obviously this was Ella Toon's first major tournament winning without her dad. So obviously that was very emotional. And like loads of people were seeing the videos of, you know, and her and Beth Mead going like that. It was really cute, because obviously if you didn't know, Beth Mead lost her mum. So it was so cute. Like, they are amazing. I love them so much. Yeah, their celebrations last night was so funny. Like, they were getting drunk and stuff. Like, they were amazing. And obviously, well done to the young girls, you know, Ajimang, Clinton, Charles, Esme Morgan as well. Beaver Jones. Also, guys, it was Aggie Beaver Jones' 22nd birthday yesterday, which is crazy, because you must have had an amazing birthday. The players that really stood out to me at this tournament was obviously Ajimang. Kelly, of course. Ajimang, Kelly. Lucy Bronze. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop talking about how Lucy Bronze was that whole tournament. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I love her so much. I love her so much. Like, Lucy Bronze. She's not my favourite, but during this tournament, she's grown on me, you know. Like, I can't believe it. Like, oh my god. Do you know who's also grown on me? And I'm annoyed that she hasn't got any minutes this tournament. Lotte Wubben-Moy. I'm sorry, but she needed more time. She needed time. She needs to come on. She's amazing. Like, Lotte Wubben-Moy. Oh my god. Obviously, I know of her because she plays Arsenal. So, oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, that was my Euros roundup. Thank you for watching. Obviously, this is my first ever Euros roundup, or my first ever Lionesses roundup. I might do the same thing when Arsenal starts coming back up again, and I might do it for the World Cup as well. I'll think about it, maybe, or Nations League or anything like that. I might do it. But yeah, thank you for watching. We brought it home, and I'm proud to be English right now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!